ecology at all. It's about how do you create more FSI, how do you create more land availability so that you can create more rent value. It's about how you can create. So one of the ecosystem services is aesthetic services, right? But that's just one of it. When you have aesthetic services, you have an entire chain of other services which are the exchange of matter and energy. You have hydrologic cycle, you have primary food production, you have groundwater recharge, you have all of that. And on top of that, it's aesthetic value. But without any regard to any of the other ecological services, we are only taking out aesthetic value and putting it onto a platter and saying, now we will fund this aesthetic value. That becomes an ROT. So all the money is going into building aesthetic value on the river front. Artificial aesthetic value. It's not a natural aesthetic value. Yeah. So that becomes a single most important. And while you are creating that artificial aesthetic value, you can also create a rent value. And that becomes very important for a municipal corporation. And that becomes very important for people who control how a municipal corporation is governed.
So we are taking into consideration the revenue and not planning the natural economy, which we should actually take into consideration.
And why are we doing that also, we'll answer in a minute. Yeah.
In the beginning you said it is okay to have those type of embankments or the perennial rivers like Thames or Rhine or Siena. Is just because our river is not perennial, that's why we are kind of the embankment is not so good idea. Of course, embankment is not good. Interference with nature is not good at all. And that's the baseline. But you were correct me if I'm wrong in the statement I've understood from you that the embankment or the type of river corridors they did at the Thames or Siena is okay because those rivers are perennial?
Yeah. So first thing is, you probably heard wrong, or maybe I said wrong. It's not okay, but I said it's not a good idea to copy what they have done exactly, right? Why they have done that? There are various reasons, and there are historic reasons. So one of the important points is because it was a perennial river, and because it was used very much for transportation. And when you have that, and you have the cities eating into the into the river, then ships cannot cross. So therefore they build banks there which kind of arrest the rivers, and it allows the transportation to happen. One. Second thing is, the rivers in the temperate climates have very low diversity of riparian zones. You know, the interface between the aquatic ecosystem and the terrestrial ecosystem is extremely weak. Yeah, because it's a very cold climate, it's a harsh climate, and you know, the river freezes for a long time, and all these things happen, and therefore you don't have that diversity. So when you don't have that, and then you create an embankment, okay, chalo, theek hai, at least to that extent it's okay.
Like a natural gutter sort of.
Natural gutter for pathway for transport and all of that. But
the amount of destruction is less, but it is still bad.
It's still a destruction.
No, it's not less. This last 3 years data, the Rhine, 70% of the Rhine dried out, and they couldn't run any transportation anymore in the Rhine. So now they are breaking those embankments and they are restoring the floodplains to restore the level of water in the Rhine. This is the same thing that has happened in the Thames, the same thing that has happened in Los Angeles. You were referring Las Vegas. In Los Angeles, if you see the old movies, Terminator and whatever, they've actually got car chases happening on the Los Angeles River, which is completely concretized. And now they are facing a water crisis, so they are redoing it. Now they are breaking all the concrete on the Los Angeles River, and they are restoring their floodplains, and they are restoring the river back to its natural order. So all that is, the damage has been tremendous. It's just that they have experienced the damage over a longitudinal longer period of time. We have experienced the damage over a much shorter period of time because we built dams over doing all these things. We did those stupid things like building dams. Then we did further stupid things by not continuing the riverine, by not giving any importance to the riverine ecosystem or the people living on river banks, so to speak. Somehow we have muddled our way through these past 60, 70 years. But we haven't learned anything from the damage we've done.
Yeah. So, So that's about the riverfront, what we are doing towards it. But the riverfront is no different from a large dam. We can look at the large dam from the same lens that we are looking at the riverfront. What are we doing with the large dam? We are converting a flowing water ecosystem into a static water ecosystem. They are totally different ecosystems. Lentic water and lotic water ecosystems, they are different. The vegetation is different, the fauna is different, the exchange of matter and energy is different. All of that is different, and when that changes, the food chain downstream after the dam changes. And we have seen that. And it encourages the formation of invasive species like water hyacinth and piscia and all of that. Invasive fish like roe, katla and catfish and all what we have today, guppy, all of those tilapias, all those kind of fish. So the dam is actually no different from a riverfront development. When you dam it, and the most important change which happens when you have a dam is the change in behavior of human beings with the river. Now we have a tremendous surplus of water supply. Now we have a surplus water throughout the year. Now we can do whatever we want. If we have 3 cars, we'll wash all 3 cars every day. Yeah, we do all of that when you get surplus water. And most important, you are not able to see the level of water with your eyes. It's not visible. If you have a Syntex tank in your house, you keep monitoring kiti zala pani, panshet madhe kiti zala pani, nobody cares. Right? We don't see the level going down. And then we use it for whatever. I see Divyanshu cleaning 3 cars, then I say, why not me? So sense of justice prevails over that, and then everybody gets into that. So dams not only change the ecosystems, but they also change behaviors that human beings have, and that's exactly what riverfront is also doing. It changes behaviors that we have. So therefore, in one session when I was asked, what do we need to do to improve human nature, Pune citizens' relationship with the rivers? There is a very simple thing to it, right? Draw drinking water downstream and throw your sewage upstream. That will immediately change the way how every citizen behaves with their river. Because now we know that you're going to drink the water that you're going to pollute. So you will stop polluting that river, whatever. I mean, at least some thing that you will be able to stimulate in that.
Okay.
We've been reading and learning that the sewage goes downstream. We know Ujjali, Solapur, everybody's from
Yeah.
So those areas, did they never revert to the fact that this system is being followed?
Yeah.
Because river, it's not just here, river is everywhere.
Absolutely. I
Just
think this is a very good question.
even
Yeah. Can you repeat the question loudly?
So my question was that people downstream or the villages, cities downstream who get the sewage laden water, why did they never revolt?
Basically what you are saying, they are the people who are getting from us.
So
Why
म्हणजे
they are not
उरली कांचन जसे बंड करून उठले की आमच्याकडे कचरा टाकू नका,
Solapur.
तसं
They have succeeded in taking an entire ocean dive. If you go and see the kind of damage they have done with Amu Darya, Sikh Darya and all of that over there,